Hello guys and welcome back to some more World of Tanks. Today I'm going to bringing you a kind of different kind of video. I'm not going to be doing much description of what's going on in the actual games. Obviously I will do that if I have any spare time after I've said what I needed to say. Now obviously the title is pretty ambiguous, right? Can you have fun playing World of Tanks? Now obviously the short answer is yes, but I'm going to describe how painful my experience was the other day at the end of this. Okay, let's start off where I first started playing World of Tanks. So for the first 2 years probably, obviously I just started the game. I didn't know how to play the game, not really. I did the usual noobish stuff by sitting at the back, just shooting when enemies came into my line of fire, that kind of thing, even if I was playing a light tank or whatever. You know, I was just attracted to the tanks themselves. So if it got too grindy, I would just go down another line of tanks. So I'd have like 7 lines of tanks on the go, which meant I didn't have any money. So even if I knew how to play the game properly, I didn't have the cash to buy equipment and premium rounds. Not that I would know how to use them at that point. So I just kind of like... obviously, once I got to upgrade a tank, I pretty much just had to grind to get the silver to do so. And I didn't understand crews, so every tank had a new crew in it. So basically, if I was lucky, I would have 6 cents. When I was later on, when I was getting tier 8s and stuff like that, I would be having... maybe 2 or 3 skills. Not I would really understand their crew skills either. But that being said, so obviously I was enjoying the game. You know, I was just going, I was just enjoying the game. You know, I was just going, all right. So that game didn't pan out too well, but I had fun. I just enjoyed grinding out new tanks, getting excited for a new gun on my tank, or obviously especially getting excited for a new tank in general. Obviously that was pretty exciting. Obviously it looked good, that kind of thing. And then obviously when I was putting a lot more time in, and then I was watching YouTubers. I was kind of understanding how the game worked. I was kind of looking at win rates and stuff like that. Well, I wasn't looking at win rates just then. I was obviously understanding the game. Kind of going, all right, okay, I do need this kind of equipment on these tanks. I do need to put some premium rounds in so that I can actually pen higher tier tanks and things like that. So I was still really enjoying the game at that point. I was just watching other YouTubers, learning to side scrape, things like that. Basic stuff that most experienced tankers would know. So I was getting better at the game. Obviously, about 4 years in. So I've been playing the game for like 7, almost 8 years, I guess. So I was, 4 years in, and I was learning all this stuff, and enjoying myself still, but learning how to actually play the game. So it was still at that point a lot of fun. Obviously starting to have better games as well, so you're having those clutch games where you're getting on your edge of your seat. It's down to you and 3 other enemy tanks. Can you pull it off? You got you're a tier 10 and you've got 7,000 damage. That's the most damage you've ever done. It's a really good score and that kind of thing. I was kind of having those experiences, so that was a lot of fun. But obviously then then I was kind of understanding the win rate and stuff. People, you get those the idiots that will message you and stuff, and start arguments with you and stuff, and then they will go, "Oh, your win rate's really bad." So I kind of started looking that up at that point, and I was like, "Well, okay, actually, my win rate's really bad." And that's when to be honest, that's kind of when I started not enjoying the game as much as when I was going, yeah, okay, my win rate's really bad, but that's not really showing the full story, which is true. And I do kind of hate when people judge you on your win rate. Doesn't really prove. I mean, it's the most efficient way of gaining if you're a good player or a bad player, simply by stats alone. If you're just obviously if someone's going to look at your stats, they're just going to go to the win rate, and that is it. That's all they're going to look at, and that doesn't portray the full story, not by the long shot. I'll tell you why. So this was about 4 or 5 years into the game. I had gone down many lines. I was still going down many lines. And my win rate was pretty bad. Now you're going, all right. So why? I'm not saying that I'm a great player. I'm saying I'm a decent player, maybe average, just above average, which is but I wasn't. It wasn't getting portrayed via my stats. Now, as I was saying, the first 3 years I was playing a lot of World of Tanks, and that was obviously affecting my stats, right? Before I even knew that you could look your stats up, and I was going down these lines, and I was going down multiple lines. I didn't have the money to buy equipment, premium rounds. I didn't have good cruising. My tanks, the grind is better now, but if you're going up tank lines and you started off in a new tank and you were facing tanks higher than you had no chance. I mean, some lines you could literally not pen the enemy you were up against. You could just be firing round after round. Even with premium rounds, you probably couldn't pen them. So that affects his stats, right? You're going down all these lines, you're playing lots of games in these unupgraded tanks. It was not really reflecting how good at the game you were anyway. And like I said, I wasn't good at the game at that point, but when I was going up most of these lines, but it also didn't really reflect how good a gamer you are. And even like I said, when I first discovered stats and stuff, I was still going up these lines, and I still didn't have much silver. So I was still going, well, I would like to run a large repair kit, but I can't really afford it right now. So, that would affect, if you encountered another player on the same level as you, and he had lots of silver, and you had exactly the same tanks, but if I didn't have much silver, then obviously he's going to be able to pump out more premium rounds. He's going to be able to have a large repair kit where I would only have a small repair kit. Who's going to win? They're probably going to win. So that's obviously going to affect your stats. Unfortunately, like I said, now in recent times, I've obviously because of the stat thing, I was actually getting quite annoyed. Obviously, other things in the game were annoying me. The introduction of these awful looking tanks, Hot Wheels and stuff like that, and then 6.0 came along. Now they've brought most of that back, made the game better, but we've still got artillery in the game. Still hate artillery. It's a reason why most people call them the artillery, the fun police, or pigs, or various insults, because not really enjoyable to play against. That being said, so like I said, I've stopped playing half as much. I don't play half as much. Now, but then I've just gone, right, I've gone up most of my tier 10s. I've got most of my tier 10s. All I'm going to do is play premium tanks. Save a lot of silver. Then I can just put all the equipment I want, all the premium rounds I want, and work on my crews so that I can have a bit more fun, you know. So I'm going to probably do a lot better with all this stuff, which is what I did, grinding premium tanks, and obviously that helped my channel a bit because I was just like, okay, we'll show you the latest premium tanks. He's a good premium tank, and that kind of thing. So that kind of helped my channel as well, and as well as grinding silver and crews. So it was fine. You know, that's what I've been doing. Getting, and basically, obviously, there's a lot of premium tanks that are a bit OP. Let's face it. So my win rate was, you know, vastly improved, right? So, like, say over a span of a year and a half, where I was grinding silver, playing premium tanks pretty much only, just to have fun. As much as you can on this game. My win rate went up quite a bit. So, you know, on average, you know, so my win rate before I started trying to play premium tanks and grind silver and stuff like that, I was getting, my win rate was about 54%. It's not great, right? Like I said, kind of average. But when I say, like I said, premium tanks, some of them are OP, some of them are not. Having more silver, having better crews, putting better equipment on, the right equipment, and obviously being a slightly better player from when I first started. My win rate was going from anywhere from, and this is how much it varied, from 66% win rate some evenings to back down to about 48% win rate. Now, obviously, those are the two extremes, but the kind of average I was getting was about 57% win rate on average, you know, give or take. And I was like, right, fine, you know, still could be better, right? But still not as good as I would liked. But I'm getting there, you know. I'm getting a better score, right? And it's improved my win rate, and all that. But then we come to so these games are from, well, I'm not sure when I'm uploading this video, but let's say 3 maybe weeks ago, where there was a epic silver bonus, right, going on. It's based on XP. So you're thinking, right, put on my XP boosts. If I've got any silver boosts, put that on. And of course, definitely play Cold War, which is where the silver is. I don't particularly like Cold War too much. I don't have too many tanks in Cold War, so hence why you're seeing the FV211 all the time, because it's pretty much the only good premium tank I've got. But that's fine. I don't play tanks much anymore, but I wanted to get a good stock of silver, so you know, when I do play it, I can actually have a bit of fun, because I don't have to worry about silver, which is then what I did. So I did play a good chunk of World of Tanks for the first time in like a year, especially when I was working. You know, I'll play like an afternoon and an evening, if I've got a week or two off, but I won't play that kind of time when I've got work. So it's just like, well, it's not much fun. I'll play something else that I'm actually going to enjoy when I've got the stress of work on top. So I got stuck in, right. Up until that point, when I had some silver boost and I played Cold War, my win rate was actually higher than average, probably because of this tank, right? And there are a lot of new players in Modern Armor, right? Or Cold War, sorry. So you obviously got some people that are just going to sit in front of you and let you take all their health away. And as you can see, this tank seems to be cursed with the old derp action. So that didn't help. But let's just say, like I said, average win rate for the last year and a half has been about 56%. Now, guess what my win rate was after playing 40 games of Cold War? A lovely 38% win rate. Now, I know there'll be people who will watch this video and be like, well, the only common factor in those games was you, so it must be you. Well, fine. If you want to think that, that's up to you. But like I said, my average win rate at the moment is about 56, 57%. And my overall win rate, obviously taking in all the games I've ever played, even when I was beginner for the first couple of years, that kind of thing, is a lot higher than that. Now, as you can see, these games I'm showing you, I'm not showing you all the best games. I'm not showing you all the worst games. I'm showing you the average games I was playing here. And it's just, I don't know. Now, 38% win rate. Honestly, I've watched playing this game like loads, so I was actually seeing basically people being bots because of the silver bonus. It does bring out some idiots, right, who will sit at the back of the map and just drop their controller and let the whole game play out, so they can get some extra silver without actually having to do anything. That was a clever guy, wasn't he? Trying to get behind me. Didn't work out for him, did it? So honestly, I think that if I had left my controller on the floor and not played, I should have won more games. So what I'm saying is that, like I said, not the best player. Maybe even playing badly at quite a few points in the bunch of games I played. But like I said, I should have won more games even if I did nothing at all. 38% win rate is absolutely terrible. And then, so I was like, and then obviously you had, and that's the point of this game. It's a frustration. It's just like, okay, I'm having some bad games. I've lost 4 games in a row. I've done not too badly. My team has done terrible. And then you have like shots that are just, you're pretty up close to the enemy tank, and then your shot goes into the dirt, and his shot goes straight into you and pens you, and you're just like, wow, this isn't fun. I'm not really enjoying myself here. And that's also the thing is, it's like, right, it's the silver bonus is actually based on XP. So I'm just like, well, I'm getting a hefty chunk of silver still, but I am not getting the silver I should be getting. If I was getting it, like I said I wanted to get to a certain amount of silver. I wanted to get to 200 million. If I had won the average amount of games that I normally win, I would have finished 2 hours earlier than I did. But because I was losing every single game, I was getting, well, not the amount of silver I was expecting. So obviously, yeah, maybe it was wrong of me to set a certain goal, because that made things even more frustrating, because obviously I was going, well, I should have won this by now, or I should have got to that amount of yes, the amount of silver like 2 hours ago, but because I'm losing every game, I am not getting the silver I was hoping for, and now I've got to continue playing this unenjoyable game because I haven't got the results I needed to get the silver I needed. So yeah, it's just, unfortunately, yeah, you can be the best player in the world, but if the game or your luck doesn't hold out, then it doesn't really matter too much. Especially in Cold War, that is part of the problem. Like, the frustrations were immense. You know, the derpy shots, the losses, the fact that games were over, and some games were over in like a couple minutes. You know, pretty much. You know, the fact that your team, you'll be. I'll get into my my favorite position in a certain map, and by the time I got there, like 3 or 4 of my tanks were already dead, and it's just like, well, I know we've lost this game. Obviously, I'm going to try to do the best I can, but kind of what is the point? Especially when it's based on XP. The fact it was based on XP meant you kind of had to win the games to get the large amount of silver, which obviously it wasn't doing. Now, obviously, again, matchmaking was also, not apart from the fact that it was putting me on the teams with seemed to have no idea how to play the game. It was also putting me with putting me on the team that you go, right, well, we've kind of lost here, because I know for a fact there's some OP tanks in the game, right? The FV 4211 is OP. I will admit that. That's why I'm using it. Well, like I said, it's pretty much the only good premium I've got. But if I went to end the game and looked at the menu and I go, right, well, we've got 1 or 2 FVs and the enemy's got 4 or 5, I'm like, well, the odds say that the enemy team is gonna probably win, and I was right every time. Every time I went, right, okay, they've got more FV411s. We are gonna lose this game, and unfortunately, that happened, and that is another frustrating thing. Is like knowing that you're gonna lose before the game even really starts is extremely annoying. Again, I know there'll be people like, well, you should have done better, you know, it's your fault type of thing. Which is, yeah, if you want to think that, that's fine. But, you know, I'm just saying there's certain things that contribute to a winning game and a losing game. And unfortunately, odds seem to always be against me. Which, like I said, I will probably be taking quite a big break from tanks for a while after this, you know. And like I said, another part of the frustration was the fact I had to keep playing the same tank in the same mode. I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I was playing World War II, I think, because I could just go, right, this tank isn't really working for me right now, I can play such and such tank. But unfortunately, that's not what I could do when I was trying to earn the maximum amount of money. Because obviously, I was thinking, right, okay, we've lost lots of games, but it can't possibly keep going this badly for this amount of time. And unfortunately, it did the whole time. Now, did I lose every game? Of course not. No, I didn't lose every game. But unfortunately, when you go, right, you're playing 40 games, you only won 38% of them. That's not many games. And unfortunately, I seem to have a lot of my best games on losing games. So that is even more annoying when you're going, right, I've had a stonking good game here. If we win this game, I am going to be earning a lot of silver. Only for your team to then lose, and you go, right, well, I could have been earning over 2 million for that one match, but instead, because we lost, I am only earning 700,000, which again is great money. Is great money. If the silver bonus wasn't on, that would be amazing. Like, you'd be absolutely amazed by that score. But obviously the silver bonus thing was on, and yeah, just felt a bit like a kick in the teeth, really. So yeah, I've had enough of Cold War for a while, and I've had enough of World of Tanks for a while. But yeah, there you go. Had not much fun in this game. And the thing, like I said, at the end of the day, if you want to enjoy this game, see, like I said, here I'm not doing too badly, right? I'm up against 2 enemy tanks pretty much on my own. I'm holding my own against them, so but my team just don't seem to want to do anything. So the only way to really enjoy the game is to try to forget about win rate and all those stats and stuff. Just like I said, when I first started the game, I didn't know how to play the game really. I just enjoyed looking at the tanks and stuff like that. I enjoyed the game most. Obviously, during this massive amount of games, I got a mastery game. But honestly, if I was having average games or average win rate, I'll probably have had 2 or 3 masteries in that same amount of time. That's again part of the problem. But there you go. I will stop kind of whinging, I guess. It's kind of a bit of a long whinge. But the only reason I'm whinging is because I generally really enjoy playing this game when I'm not thinking about win rates and I'm winning average amount of games. So yeah, we're in this game. It's 2 versus 4 now. It was 5 versus 4, I think. We came, and there we go. We're getting almost 8,000 damage. I'm a 1 shot, and we've got a light tank. We're going to try to support this light tank, right? So we brought this game back from we were losing badly, then we were winning, and now we're really losing again. And he takes that guy out, and I'm thinking, right, I can probably kill this guy, but then it's game over. But then there's 2 guys left. It all depends on what health these guys have. So I'm on a 1 shot. One's a Centurion, which is fine. I can easily take him out. It's the other guy I got to worry about. Obviously, the Centurion, if he's on full health and he pushes, then I'm still probably going to be dead, right? But I have a chance, and they were both out in the open field, if I remember. Unfortunately, it does kind of turn. Well, like I said, this is the kind of games I was having. Not bad, right? I am 4 kills in. I've killed 4 of the enemy. I've done over 8,000 on my own damage. There's a Centurion. Missed that, of course. Every shot's going to count right now, so my shot's going to flunk into the dirt at every opportunity. So, right, okay, we can take this guy out at this point, I think. I don't want to push him, because but then this guy pushes him from the side, so that was game over, and he was pretty much on full health as well, so another loss. And there you go. Obviously, the one guy that killed me had the least amount of damage. Well, one of the least amount of damages on the enemy. And that's just salt to the wound, right? You had an amazing game. And the guy that kills you is some guy that probably sat at the back of the map for most of the match, only to just finish your last bit of health off. So on Resonai or whatever it's called, a map I quite like actually. We're gonna push up into the castle. I always push up into the castle. The thing is, if you win castle, then you're very good chance of winning the map, because obviously you got a bit of protection. You can basically see out across most of the map. Now this one is kind of a difficult one for Cold War. Obviously, I use the True Vision to the highest effect I can, but there is a lot of trees in this on this map, so you kind of still need to have them spotted up if you want to get shots across at them. So we're already looking at the map and we're all thinking we're gonna lose this match. Obviously, I've lost a lot of matches in a row, so I was being very pessimistic. But as you can see, there's a medium tank, and he's actually pretty much getting face hugged by another medium, and there's a light tank circling around him. Luckily, he's getting some support, but I'm guessing there's probably enemy tanks in the back. And there we go, our first death on our team. That's not what you want to see, and if you want to see that, well, you obviously don't want to see that, but if we can even the odds pretty quick after, then it's not so bad, right? This guy keeps for some reason he thinks he's an FV4211, and I'm just penning every shot, and he's just not gonna really do the same. And unfortunately, we're getting surrounded pretty damn quick. That FV just pulled out in front of me. My guess is maybe he's a newish player for doing that. Unfortunately, we don't pen him. Of course, we don't pen him. He gets the bear shot off, and actually, we pen that guy. Worried about maybe I'm not, like I said, I don't play Cold War too much, so I don't know which tank has missiles and which doesn't, so I'm a little bit wary about that. And again, this guy kind of seems to forget I'm even there. He's very lucky he's in the noob friendly FV4211, because if he was in like a Leopard or something like that would have been 2 shots into him already. And there we go, bounced yet again. Even with premium rounds, we're not penning that thing on the side. It's, like I said, noob proof. We pen that guy. This is what we're going to do. We don't need premium rounds for this. We're going to keep him penned. Keep him tracked, sorry. And we'll keep penning him at the same time. I mean, I do feel kind of guilty for that. It's very annoying if that happens. Nothing you can do. And now he's put smoke up, but then drove straight through it. In front of enemies, so there you go. He's definitely a newer player. We can finally pen him and punish him for his mistakes, and we get penned there because we turned too much to the side to try to kill the FV. Now it's 8 on 8. We can win this one. I'm quite excited by the fact we can win this one. I don't know what the FV 4211 is doing. He's just pushing. Looks like he's trying to go straight for the cap. Obviously, definitely is a new player. That guy pushes back out because he's getting pushed, meaning we could get him in the side and get our first kill of the game. I actually didn't see his little cursor over the top, so I was like, "Oh my god, is that a enemy team member?" And we're just wiggling there to make him bounce. Now we're 7-6. Someone tries to shoot me from behind. I look and see he's getting actually hammered by the enemy, by my allies. So I'm just like, yeah, not bothered. Gonna see if I can see this guy via true vision. Can't. I'm pushing a little bit further. I'm risking it here a little bit. Going out into the fairly open space with true vision and all that. Then I decide, right, I'm pulling back. I'm going to kill these two guys here. Then we can make sure that we're going to win this game. We have been... Oh, someone's aiming at us, but I don't know who. He fires a missile. And I managed to pen him, so I've done more damage than he has, because he did very little. Take that guy out, get a third kill. And then we see this FV4211 again, guys. We just seem to see him all the time, no matter what we're doing. Try to finish him off, of course, or try to pen him and track him again. Doesn't happen. And of course, slightly angled with premium rounds, still going to bounce. He's full on side on. Unfortunately, we don't manage to kill him. This light tank's just sitting there for some reason. He's not going to get away. And we get over about 9,000 combined. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for the long rant, but occasionally it needs to be done. If you did like the video, like it, subscribe, because I will bring you more videos. I've got some more stored up. Anyway, see you soon, guys. Bye.